Operant learning is a type of learning where you can shape an attitude by using positive or negative reinforcement. This could be very helpful when you're trying to train a pet or when you become a parent and want to get rid of an unwanted behavior. For example, if you want your child to clean their room, you might use negative reinforcement by nagging him to do it, so eventually he would do it to get rid of your nagging. We can shape someone's behavior to what we want by using psychology.
Altruism, unconditional care for the well-being of others, is said to have many benefits. Altruism derives from the fact that if you give and help others when you are in need, someone will want to help you. It is important to apply altruism to life because, according to social psychologists, it will help you feel a sense of belonging, reduce isolation, and decrease pain and stress. In school, there's never a moment where we don't have to work with other people. While everyone in the group is working, there's always that one person that slacks off. Social loafing is a tendency for one person to put in less effort in a group rather than working it individually. Understanding social loafing is important in two ways. One, if you are the social loafer in a group, you can work towards not being it. Being knowledgeable about your behavior can help you try and reverse it. Two, if you are working with a social loafer, you can address it and prevent yourself from excluding the loafers from the group and reduce hostility and tension.
Conformity is when you feel like you need to conform to society and follow the norm. This is very prevalent in today's society. Teenagers especially are more prone to conformity and we see it everywhere. We want to feel like we are part of the group and this prevents us from feeling alienated by society. Feeling like we are isolated could cause depression and loneliness, so it is important to conform to some extent. Learning about conformity is helpful because it enables us to feel empathy and understand situations from other points of view, which is applicable to almost every aspect of life.
In psychology, you learn about three major types of parenting styles: authoritarian, authoritative, and permissive. Authoritarian parents have low responsiveness, high expectations, and punish harshly for mistakes and disobedience. Authoritative parents are responsive to a child's needs, have high expectations, and explain punishment and expected behavior. Permissive parents are extremely responsive, with minimal to no discipline and rules. Having knowledge about these parenting styles and the effects of these different parenting styles on development is very beneficial. You can reflect on how your own parents raised you, had an effect on you, as well as how you want to parent in the far future.
Sleep is one of our physiological needs that must be fulfilled in order to live a healthy life. If you don't sleep for an appropriate number of hours, this could be a big problem. There are many sleeping disorders that cause people to have trouble sleeping, such as insomnia. Insomnia is when you have difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. It's important to get this condition fixed because if not, it could lead to obesity, depression, and hallucinations. Having knowledge about sleep is beneficial because we do it every day and it affects your physical and emotional health.
Ever since elementary school, we have been educated about drugs. The three main types of psychoactive drugs are depressants, stimulants, and hallucinogens. Depressants like alcohol and tranquilizers slow down the brain's functions and body movements. Stimulants, drugs like nicotine and amphetamines, do the opposite, speeding up neural activity in the body's movements. Hallucinogens like LSD and marijuana distort the user's perceptions and induce images. In psychology, you learn about how these three classes of drugs affect the brain's chemical messengers or neurotransmitters by stimulating, inhibiting, or mimicking them. Although we have always learned that drugs aren't necessarily the best things to consume, psychology dives into why on a much deeper level. As a high schooler, it is almost inevitable that you will meet someone who uses drugs or drinks. Educating yourself about these psychoactive drugs will benefit your life by giving you the knowledge with facts to say no other than they're just bad.
When trying to come up with a solution to a problem, we usually turn to algorithms and heuristics. However, Both help us find solutions in different ways. Heuristics are simple thinking strategies that help us make judgments and solve problems efficiently. Algorithms, on the other hand, are a procedure or logical rule that guarantees solving a problem. When heuristics are applied to our life, it speeds up the process of solving. However, it can lead to bias because although it worked in the past, that doesn't mean it will work in the future. When algorithms are applied, you are led to the best possible solution every time, even though it is time-consuming.
Every single person experiences emotion in different ways. Emotions are certain states of feeling that influence and are influenced by a mix of behaviors, physiological experiences, and cognitive experiences. In psychology, you learn that varying levels and types of arousal have an effect on the emotion you feel. Learning these principles and theories will help you understand why you feel different emotions and how to handle them. Understanding how emotion works will also help you better understand how and why other people communicate and behave the way they do. As a high schooler, you've probably used or heard the word stress used very often. Stress is how we perceive and react to certain events. There are two different types of stressors. Acute stressors are those that are relatively short-term and have a clear end, while chronic stressors are long-term and don't have a clear end. Frustration, conflict, and/or pressure can cause you to react emotionally, behaviorally, and/or physiologically. In psychology, you learn what causes stress and how to constructively cope or find healthy ways to deal with situations that cause stress. This is essential to know because everyone will have stress at certain points in their lives, and understanding what causes you stress and how to cope with it will be beneficial to you in the future.